let's go for it then. Right, Coach Helen for YouFit Studio. Oh, God, I bet that is. Hey, Krishna. Right, now I'm gonna do a recap on one I did some time ago. Who knows where? Probably, actually no, it was in the middle of the second raft of lockdown. I remember it well. It was that moment right when we got announced the second or third phase of lockdown, and now what we're on, like the millionth. Yay! Yeah. So we're just about to go into our next one. So in T minus, what is it? What's today? Tuesday. 48 hours, less than 24 hours and a bit. Right, we'll be back into lockdown around about these parts. Right. So why I wanted to do this one again is, like I said, it was ready in plan. So this was in plan. So it wasn't like I was psychic for another lockdown, I swear. One of my clients really blamed it on the fact that I go eat out to help out, because she's been doing that quite a lot since, August still. So she thinks I've had it all in plan for the whole time to stop her eating out. That's also not true. I would love to have that kind of power, but no, this wasn't on me, this one. However, I did plan this in. And we'll talk about the game versus the finite game, right? So the difference between the two, right, when it comes to mindset is very, very defined, right? And by that I mean, if you're playing a finite or short-term game, you this next period of time like, oh, it's literally just a couple of weeks, right? Don't have to think about it, don't have to plan for it, don't have to emotionally or mentally prepare myself or physically prepare myself. It's just a week or so, no big deal. It's just like last time, it's all gonna be okay. And I'm not saying, I'm not being negative and saying it's not, but I'm saying if you're playing a very short-term, quick win game, you're like, oh, you know what, I'll be fine. I'll just do the online stuff, which is great. I'll just, sleep in a little bit more. Maybe so I start, go to bed a little later. Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna throw some gifts out, but a few memes here and there. Yeah, it's a bit of fun, really. It's not a big deal. And that is a finite game or very short-term approach to playing the game of getting through the next few weeks. And that's the same as when you're approaching anything in a very finite game approach. Now, what happens with a finite game approach, you might ask? Well, let's think about that in the example I've just used. Really, if someone goes into it very short-term kind of mentality in place, it's unlikely they're going to get through the couple of weeks, really first end of it, unscathed. Probably drop off on food behaviours. It's likely they'll probably drop off if they are drink on alcohol behaviours. It's likely they'll be underprepared for food. It's likely that they may or may not reach out to people around them. May not actually in how it went last time. They may not want to speak to their coach, right? They might hide from their coach. Talked about that on another live about shame, right? May regret, right? Thinking, right, I've been looking at this really short term. Won't reach out to my friends and family. It's only a couple of weeks, right? It's just a week, it's fine. Won't talk about it. Allow that to carry on, right? Dig the head in. Keep thinking it's just going to get to the end and I'll win, right? I'm just going to get through this. I'm going to be the winner. Get through lockdowns, be good. And that is essentially how a short-term approach to anything. The last time I talked about health, this time I'm specifically talking about this period of time coming up. This is how I'm changing life through. And in the process, not use any of the resources, any of the skills that they actually probably have in the toolbox, not call out for help. Ultimately, oh, we're back. Apologies. It left with the internet leaving. Hi, Krishna. So at the end of that, as I was saying, telling Instagram, not Facebook. The end of the game is essentially the end, right? So somebody will crash out of what they're looking after, which is their health goals, right? So if you're thinking the game is health, if someone approaches it very short term or finite in the next 5 weeks, from experience and seeing it a number of times through this year, that individual will crash and burn, right? They'll be exhausted the effort, give in, essentially drop out for maybe a week or so, and then come back to the party a bit late, like, come on, the last few weeks, and go at it again, right? So go at it with a finite approach again. It was short-term goals in mind, like just get it done, right? Now, it is ultimately, right, if I'm going to go back now to the beginning and say, right, let's look at this from the long term, right? So for the infinite, right? Now, if any of you caught my live on that about the infinite game, the idea of the infinite game, right, is to do with somebody seeing that it's not being the best, like I'm going to get through this and win through this next 5 weeks, I'm going to be the best I can be. It's actually, I'm going to aim to be better, right? I'm going to aim to be better and keep improving and keep increasing my ability to do things. And I'm going to be, what's the word? It's like a marathon, right? So it's a marathon and not a sprint. So if somebody approaches these next few weeks, right, in the mindset of someone who is running a marathon and not a sprint, guess what? They will still be running at the end, right? Hey, Layla's here. So again, Layla, I'm just saying short term and long term. So finite and infinite game playing when it comes to the next few weeks, right? If you go it short term, like you're going to be the best. Hey, Kate, you're going to be the best at everything. You're going to come out on top. You're going to go everything like mad. I'm going to prep all my food. I'm going to run every day. I'm going to work out every day. All of that, right? If you go at it like a bull in a china shop, going at the, right, it's the same thing as the hare and tortoise, right? If you go at it like the hare, you are going to exhaust yourself, right? We've seen that time and time again. This isn't, this time, I agree with Sam, this time, yes, we're prepared, we know what to expect, except emotionally, I think it is going to be a little bit more of a roller coaster for a lot of people. So what does that mean? It means for me as a coach, it's playing the infinite game, right? So it's playing the game of, right, what resources do I have in place? How can I approach these next 5 weeks better, getting better? So whether that's better in comparison to how we dealt that last time, I don't know. If it's better as in, I'm going to make small improvements consistently. I'm going to challenge myself without going crazy. I'm going to ensure that I'm still in the game, right? Sam said at the beginning, right, March, stay in the game, right? Well, staying in the game means being able to use your resources to stay in the game. So what does that mean? That means reaching out and talking to your coach. That means noticing, naming when things are not going according to plan and asking for help, right? It means talking to your friends, using your support group, talking to people at work, right? If you're back in the home again, you're having that office contact, it's been great, right? Don't have a big man, right? I might get a cardboard cutout and take it home, or not. But the idea is, right, it may be more challenging going back into that for you. So again, use the skills you've got in place, right? Think about it as a long-term thing. You still want to be coming into December in that strong position, right? Still looking after your health, not coming out like a mole out of a hole, right? This is going to be hard, right? I'll say it again. I know it's going to be knocks and bruises for some people through these weeks, right? So it's important to think of it in this mindset, right? It's the infinite mindset. Please don't exhaust your reserves, right? Please come to us as your coaches or whoever you have a support system to ensure that you stay in the game, right? I put a note here saying play smart and not hard, right? So you're going in this like Rambo, like lockdown, rah, like that, like war paint, right? All fair play to you. Is that the smartest way to approach this? Debatable from everything I've just said. I'm probably going to go with no. That isn't the smartest way to play the next few weeks, right? Because again, this isn't just a few weeks. This is, then we're going to go into another stage again, right? So we're going to another stage in December, there's another stage, there's another stage, there's another stage, there's another stage. That is the infinite game of this period of our lives, right? In entirety, right? The reality is when I talked about finite infinite games months ago, I was talking about actually just long-term health, right? I was talking about health, how playing the game of fitness and health is a long-term game. But really this year has been a long-term game for all of us, right? And how we've succeeded or struggled through it has been literally based on how we've played the game. So have we played it seeing next year as the end target? Have we played it as Friday? Every Friday is a goal. Every Friday is a target. I've got to do the best I can until Friday and then start all over again, right? I've got to do it to the end of this lockdown, next lockdown, end of this period, right? Next 3 weeks announcement, next 3 weeks announcement. Remember that? Every 3 weeks, we're waiting, right? Some people played the game to that 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, they played another game, right? Rather than looking at it as infinitely, the whole process is one entire, it is what it is. Let's be honest, it is. It has been an entire game getting through this and using our resources, being down and out, getting back in, being on the reserve, being picked last, you know, whatever it is, we've all had parts in this game for the whole year. So the main thing I want to give from this is that this is literally what I planned for this. I've had to overhaul because of the last few days, right? So this wasn't how I was going to approach this. However, having spoken to some people over the last 48 hours, or having spoken to people on, you know, Saturday night and Sunday, it was imperative really that I started to look at this and really talk to all of you guys about it, as well as my clients one-on-one, because we're all in it together again, right? That's one major fantastic thing, is that nobody's alone in this game, right? We're all together, so we need to play the game together, right? So we're all part of the same team, so we call each other for support, we call each other to get up front or defend in the back, but the main thing is we stay as a team, as a family, right? That we look after each other and we all stay in the game together, right? Because this is the best bit now. It's like, oh, you fit. I love it. Layla's just commenting going, no. I have no idea what you're saying no to, Layla, but I'm whatever it was. All right. No. Is that Rambo? Layla's not being Rambo. No. No to the Rambo. But that's the main point, right? I want you all to take from this, is that it is an infinite game. It's been an infinite game for most of this year. The idea of playing it is that you stay in it long term. So whether that's your mental health, whether that's your physical health, whether that's looking after your food, whether that's looking after your loved ones, whether that's still staying on the challenge if you're the challengers, right? Because some of you guys are on the challenge. Perfectly timed, I'm going to say that. We couldn't have asked for a better timing for that one. So that drop one challenge is going on. So that's going to help some people out for sure, right? Mentally and physically. And if it's not, then I know that Sam and I have some stuff in the pipeline for you guys. We always do, to keep you running. And if you guys are listening and watching this and actually thinking, right, I've got a month now or so, and by all means, have a look at the pinned comment I've put up. You want to come be part of the family and part of our game for the next 28 days. Like, we're a team that plays together. Not hard like Rambo, as Layla said. Layla's not Rambo. But she will kill you with love, right? But, you know, in all seriousness, if you're listening, watching this and you're not a member, or if you guys are members, you know how we play the game here. So if you know somebody thinking, Joe, what they could benefit the next 28 days, becoming part of the family, or maybe you want to bring some of your own family in, links on, right? I've put a comment on, become part of our game, right? We're here to support each other, whatever that is. So we'll be looking at mindset over the next 28 days, with all the clients that come on board, as well as you guys as well. You know how imperative that was for you. I know all of you fed back how fantastic that was to get you through the last, badillion months of this year. And how being in that regular contact with, you know, somebody outside of your home or your bubble, or, you know, wherever you're doing this next 5 weeks, was one of the things that gave, I think someone called it a lifeline quite a few times. Quite a few people called it a lifeline, right? So although we do the exercise and we do the food, actually for a lot of people, having that outlet was one of the most important things to get them through lockdown. So if you are, as I said, watching this and you're not a member, please click on the link, come on in for the next 28 days. And find out more about it. And as I say, guys, if you, as members, you know somebody who benefit from that in their lives, that you think, oh, you know, she could help this lockdown with some of the UFIT, then yeah, come on in, give them a link, say, come on, have a look at this link, or get them to contact Bav, right, and come on in and be part of the family for this next 5 weeks, because I'll be more than happy to expand our numbers, right? So that's me done. I think I'm gonna keep changing all my lives this week now. I feel like I'm gonna have to, because all this was literally, where are we, November? I planned this in September, so this is all gonna have to change in the next few days. May not be something the one about chocolate spread again. Let's not repeat that. So in the meantime, as always, have a fantastic evening, and I will catch you on the flip side.